Most men grow up believing love will complete them. They've been told that if they're kind, loyal, and devoted, they'll be rewarded with happiness. But what if that belief is the very thing holding them back? What if the love they're chasing isn't what it seems? Behind every heartbreak, every silent rejection, and every failed relationship lies a truth no one dares to speak. Until now. This isn't just a story about women. It's about the game no one told you were playing. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. Ready or not, everything's about to change. Most guys go through life confused, constantly chasing love, approval, and happiness from women, only to wind up heartbroken, used, or stuck in situations they never wanted. But about 200 years ago, a philosopher named Arthur Schopenhauer laid bare some harsh truths about how women operate. These truths are so raw that most men can't handle them. But by the time you're done reading this, you'll understand how you've been misled and what you can do to finally regain control. So listen closely, because what you're about to hear isn't just controversial. It's the missing piece most guys never figure out. Schopenhauer didn't buy into fairy tales. To him, love wasn't some magical bond or fate-driven connection. It was biology playing tricks on us. A clever illusion nature uses to keep the species going. That intense pull you feel, the obsession, the belief she's the one, that's not your soul talking. It's your brain doing backroom math, checking for fertility, strong genes, survival benefits. And women? They're wired the same way, just looking for different things. Schopenhauer said, love is what drives most human behavior. It outranks everything else. But he wasn't being romantic. He saw love as a trap, a short-lived chemical rush that disappears once it's done its job. Think about it. How many men have wrecked their lives over a woman who walked away like nothing happened? How many marriages fall apart once the spark dies out? That's not bad luck. It's how nature works. Women don't pick men based on fairness, loyalty, or reason. Their instincts push them to choose guys with status, security, and strong genes. A man can be completely devoted, but if he doesn't bring those things to the table, it doesn't matter. Schopenhauer saw it clearly. Women aren't guided by logic. They move based on emotion and instinct. That's not hate, it's just observation. Just look at dating apps. 80% of women go after the top 20% of men. Look at divorce courts. Commitment often ends in financial ruin. Look at history. Kings died chasing women who later betrayed them. This stuff keeps happening because human biology hasn't changed. A lot of guys think love is a two-way street. That if they give enough, love enough, prove themselves enough, they'll get love back. But Schopenhauer warned that being good isn't enough. You have to be smart. Women don't fall for nice, they fall for power. And not just muscles, social, financial, emotional strength counts too. That's why the nice guy always loses. It's not because he's not good enough. It's because he doesn't understand the rules. He thinks love is something you earn by being there. But women are drawn to men who don't need to beg. Ever notice how a woman's interest fades once she has you? How the roles flip? Schopenhauer called that the tragedy of possession. The excitement isn't in having, it's in getting. Once the chase is over, biology checks out. That's why guys who cling too hard, who make her their whole world, always end up watching her leave. But here's the twist. This isn't some evil plan women cooked up. It's nature doing its thing. And once a man understands that, he stops blaming and starts playing smarter. Schopenhauer wasn't saying to hate women. He was saying to see things clearly. Love isn't a dream, it's a deal. And if you walk into that deal from a weak position, you lose. But that's just the surface. What comes next is even tougher to hear. It explains why modern men are falling behind in love, work, and life, and how to turn it around. Most guys are living in denial. Schopenhauer saw the truth a long time ago, but most men today still refuse to admit it. Attraction doesn't follow fair or logical rules. And it's definitely not designed to favor you. Society talks about equality, but biology plays by its own rules. And if a man ignores that, he's already lost. Here's the cold truth. Women have the upper hand in relationships. Not because they're manipulative, but because evolution made them the ones who choose. From the minute puberty kicks in, a woman's value in the dating world hits its peak. But a man's? He has to build it. Through grind, growth, and status. Schopenhauer didn't sugarcoat things. He said women are best suited to care for children because, in many ways, they're emotionally like children themselves. Short-sighted, playful, easily distracted. He wasn't putting them down. He was calling out a biological reality. Youth and looks are a woman's currency, and she instinctively knows how to use them. Take a look at what's going on today. The average guy is stuck in a no-win situation. He's told to open up emotionally, but women still chase the dominant types. He's shamed for being traditionally masculine, while alpha males run the dating game. He's busting his butt to provide, only to get hit with divorce settlements and paternity doubts. Schopenhauer saw all this coming, even back then. Women are naturally suited to take care of kids and teach them, mainly because they tend to be more playful, emotional, and short-sighted. Basically, they're like grown-up children. But here's where things take a sharp turn. Modern women haven't just recognized their influence, they've turned it into a weapon. Social media made attention a kind of currency. And guess what? Most guys are working for free. They're giving time, energy, and validation to women who won't ever return the favor. Why? Because they've been fed a lie. That being devoted is enough. Schopenhauer saw this trap coming way before Tinder or Instagram existed. He believed women were conditioned to struggle with real love. It sounds brutal, but here's the idea. Female love comes with strings attached. It's based on usefulness. A man isn't loved for who he is deep down, but for what he brings to the table. Stop delivering, and the love goes cold. It's not about being bitter. It's about how survival instincts work. Women are built to go after the best option available. If a man stops growing, she starts resenting him. If he falls behind, she'll look for someone else. And today's world? It actually cheers her on when she does. Schopenhauer said men fall into two camps, those who serve and those who are served. The beta guy burns himself out trying to prove he's good enough. The alpha doesn't need to prove anything. He's just seen as valuable. One is begging for commitment. The other makes women obsessed. You see it all around. There's the guy grinding away at his job, hoping that raise will make his wife love him again. Or the dude who builds an amazing body, only to realize women want him for fun, not for anything real. Then there's the guy who blows his paycheck on a girl who ditches him the second someone richer comes along. These men aren't being forced, they're doing it willingly. But Schopenhauer didn't just point out the problem, he showed the way out. Rule 1. Stop looking at life the way you want it to be, and start seeing it as it actually is. The guy who wins today isn't the romantic holding on to old school beliefs. He's the one who learns how the game works. And yeah, the game's rigged, but only if you keep playing by rules that don't serve you. This is where most guys give up. Because the next part is the hardest pill to swallow. It's not really about women. It's about you. And once you accept that, everything shifts. Schopenhauer uncovered a truth that modern psychology is finally starting to catch up with. Women don't compete like men do. They're not direct. They don't throw their weight around where you can see it. Their strongest weapon? Emotional influence. It's subtle, instinctive, and incredibly powerful. While guys argue or fight things out, women play on perception. They don't overpower. They reshape the way you see things. Think about it. A guy wants something. He says it. A woman? She'll plant the idea so you think it was yours. Schopenhauer noticed this. Women are naturally built for staying put and caring for others. They live more in the now than men do, and that ability to focus on the moment gives them an edge. They notice tiny facial expressions, changes in tone, social cues, like they've got built-in radar. A guy thinks he's just talking. She's running a full-on investigation. Most modern guys think they're leading in relationships, but they're usually following without knowing it. From the first date to the moment those divorce papers hit, women steer the ship through a series of subtle tests. Most guys fail without even seeing the tests coming. There's the compliance test, how fast you drop everything for her. The frame test, whether you stay grounded or fold when she's upset. The investment test, if you're doing all the chasing. Schopenhauer warned that women are naturally clever and wired for deception. Not because they're evil, but because that's what helped them survive. When muscle didn't win, emotional smarts did. The women who didn't figure out how to read men didn't pass on their genes. And this is where a lot of guys get played. They mistake a woman's attention for real interest. But Schopenhauer pulled back the curtain. Women are most attracted to guys who don't rely on them. The second you make her your whole purpose in life, she starts losing respect. That's why nice guys finish last. Why marriages fall apart when men give up their goals. Why women chase emotionally distant men. It's not that women want jerks. It's that they're drawn to value. And nothing kills value faster than neediness. Every conversation, every interaction has this quiet power struggle going on. And most guys lose before they even know they're in a game. She might cry to avoid blame. She might stop being affectionate to train you. She might flirt with others, just to see if you're still confident. Schopenhauer called this the tyranny of the weak. When someone uses their vulnerability to control someone stronger, a man who buys into the illusion ends up in chains. But the man who sees it for what it is, he becomes untouchable. And the good news is, there's a way out. One of Schopenhauer's most freeing insights is this: you can't escape until you recognize what's holding you back. Once you realize that women's behavior isn't personal, it's just biology doing its job, you stop feeling hurt by it. You stop begging for loyalty and start becoming the kind of man who naturally commands it. Here's the hard truth. The most dangerous lies aren't the ones women tell men. They're the ones men keep telling themselves. Schopenhauer's deepest and harshest realization wasn't even about women. It was about how brutal and indifferent human nature can be. After breaking down the raw truths about attraction and power, he gave something even more powerful: a path to real freedom. This isn't about beating women at some game. It's about stepping outside the game altogether. The biggest mistake modern men make is thinking they'll find happiness through a woman's approval. Schopenhauer saw through that fantasy a long time ago. He believed the happiness you create from within is way stronger than anything you can get from the outside. The men who thrive aren't chasing women. They've mastered themselves. They're so focused on their purpose and mission that attention from women becomes a bonus, not something they rely on to feel whole. Think about history's most iconic men: the creators, the explorers, the warriors. They weren't wasting time trying to win over girls. They were busy changing the world. And at the core of that kind of man are three things. First, financial freedom. Schopenhauer pointed out that money brings happiness not because of what it can buy, but because of the freedom it gives. When a man has control over his money, he's in charge of his life. Second, mental clarity. Most guys coast through life without thinking. The exceptional ones take time to learn, question everything, and sharpen their minds. They don't accept the world's story. They write their own. Third, physical strength. Your body isn't just something to show off. It's the foundation of your energy and discipline. If you're weak physically, that weakness spreads into other parts of your life. Here's where Schopenhauer's thinking really flips the script. He said the safest way to avoid misery is to stop expecting constant happiness. That's not being negative. It's emotional armor. And ironically, when a man stops obsessing over happiness, that's when good things start falling into place. Why? Because he's become the one worth chasing. The conflict between men and women isn't about good or bad people. It's a biological dance that's been going on forever. But the man who understands this stops pointing fingers and starts growing. He doesn't get mad at how women are wired. He adjusts. He creates a life so powerful, so fulfilling, that women either rise to his level or get left behind. Schopenhauer's final and maybe most powerful lesson was this. Most people give up huge parts of themselves just to fit in, but you don't have to. You can stop chasing fake ideas of happiness and step into who you really are. The red pill mindset isn't about being bitter toward women. It's about loving the truth so much that you rebuild yourself around it. That's the moment your real life begins.